And we're live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dylan Talks Tone. So, usually we do this whole live stream on Thursday night thing. I had a change in my schedule this week, and I thought, I got an extra evening. Let's hang out. The other thing is, my brother's coming to town, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do a live stream on Thursday. So I was like, well, I don't want to miss. It's a little different. Leslie's not with me tonight, so it's just me. We are going to do a roast of YouTube comments. Now, what does that mean? I'm not going to make fun of anybody. I'm not going to say mean things about anybody. I really appreciate everybody who watches, even if you disagree with me. But what I think needs to happen is I think we need to have more conversations about some of these comments because there are legitimate misunderstandings, there are legitimate disagreements, and conversation is the best way to fix all of that stuff. And I really think it is a great idea to just hang out and chat about some of this stuff. So you and we will also do some Q&A. So if you want to get in the comments and do some ask some questions, you could do that. I am by myself, so it will be more difficult for me to catch those questions. Super chats obviously pop up in front of me, so I can stop what I'm doing and answer those immediately. But let's just get right into this because this is kind of fun. There's been a couple of kind of more controversial topics that we've discussed in the last few months because there's new gear, because there's new things out. And they're not just the normal old capacitor and tone cap and pot talk. Like there's actually properly cool new things. And I think the world needs to chill out and accept that there are some new things. So we're going to talk about some of that stuff. We're going to go back a little bit. I don't have all of these to put on the screen. I just have them on my iPad. So we did a video, and you guys can chime in here anytime you want. And I'll scroll back and try to do this more like Phil McKnight style, where we look back through here a little bit, and we'll try to do it. Anyway, and like I said, super chats I can see, so if you use one of those, that's awesome too. On a video that we did a few months ago, or a while ago actually, how to choose single coil pickups, flat versus staggered. So talking about staggered pole pieces versus flat pole pieces. There's a lot of myths surrounding that, and the bottom line is if you have a modern guitar, you don't need staggered pole pieces. In fact, there are very few instances ever that you need staggered pole pieces anymore because we don't use a wound G string. So, which was the kind of the main reason of it. That video gets into it. And this is more because I want to save people from doing this. This person said, okay, so I should not hammer to push the poles down, but what do you think about wearing them out with some Dremel or a burr? Why would you do that? If you have staggered pole pieces in your guitar, leave them alone. If you tap on them with a hammer, now if it's a plastic bobbin, it won't do much, but most of the time they're not. So if it is a normal bobbin, you'll actually cut the wires on the inside of the coil and you will ruin your pickup and it won't work anymore. So don't do that. If you use a grinder on it, you can ruin on an Alnico pickup, you can ruin shock and heat will demagnetize an Alnico pickup. So that is another great way to ruin a pickup. So don't do that. Don't do that at all, ever. If you want new pickups, get new pickups. Don't do that. You'll ruin them. Let's see. What Squire Telecaster should you buy? To be honest, I can't see the point of purchasing a cheap guitar only to have to replace most of the parts. When I pick up my 79 Les Paul Deluxe, it's a no-brainer to realize that quality pays in the first instance. They have given me decades of gig work and not so much of having to touch the truss rods. Purchase good in the first place and you will have your instruments forever. The problem is, Mr. Viewer, and I'm not going to call out names with this stuff. The problem with a perspective like that is not everybody can afford a Les Paul Deluxe like you can. I know you sounds like you've been playing for a really long time. You've been playing guitars since they weren't expensive, and now they're expensive. And so getting the most out of a low-priced guitar is what a lot of people do. So the Squire line is phenomenal, and I think that most people will be very, very happy with a Squire guitar, and then they start to mod it. What do you think? Get in the comments. Let me know. Is that what you do? You know, I also am a huge proponent of never ever selling your first guitar. What did I just do? Do I? No, my first guitar is in a case in the closet. I think I put it back in a case in the closet. But I still have my first guitar. I think everybody should have their first guitar. What do you think? Get in the chat. Let me know. A, do you have your first guitar? B, well, I think that you should buy the best guitar you can afford. Do you see anything wrong with having some less expensive ones around and modding them up? I think it's cool. Who cares if it's worth it? Resale value is dumb. I'm just going to say it. If you are concerned about resale value on a guitar, you're concerned about the wrong thing. Unless you're buying it to try it, and you might not like it. So I kind of get that. But honestly, thinking about resale value is dumb. Do you like the guitar or not? That's really all it comes down to. What capacitors should I use in my guitar? Mate, you lost me once you started on about tone wood. Wood makes a difference, and all guitars are different, and all sound different. Yes, but there is a difference overall between alder, ash, mahogany, and basswood on some in sound and feel. If you don't get that, what else don't you understand? Well, Mr. Viewer, what I would say to that, my response to that would be, show me empirical, scientific data. Devise a test and do the test in a way that does it properly. Show it to your peers. Allow them to run the same tests and improve the tests. And if you can do that and prove to me something other than what I already know, I will change my view on it. 100%. I will. The problem is up until this point in 2022, no one has ever been able to show me anything that is scientific data. And I had a guitar one time that sounded a certain way is not scientific data. The end. If you can get a grant to do it properly in a laboratory, then do it. And I believe that the reason it hasn't been done is because nobody really cares what their guitar is made out of. They just play it. And I know that, okay, except for Eric Johnson, he cares a lot. But most people don't care. Most people who are good don't care. That's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah, man. Crazy, right? Science. Science, 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 science. This is not that hard. It's just physics. It's vibrating stuff. It's not that hard. String through versus top loader Telecaster. Which is better? I feel like Dylan contradicted himself. If the tension can only be really felt by playing back to back, or if after 5 minutes you can't notice it anymore, it doesn't make any sense to go back to string through. But given Dylan said he's going back to string through, it stands to reason that it absolutely makes a difference. So this is an interesting one. What he's talking about is in that video where we tried string through and string top loader on a Telecaster, I did say in that video that I was going to put it back to top loader. or back to string through. My reason for that actually has nothing to do with tone or how it feels. There is a slight difference in how it feels, for sure. Probably more in how it feels than the tone of the guitar doesn't change as much as how that changes the feel, if that makes sense, which does change the tone because you play it different. So, but I do stand by what I said. After 5 or 10 minutes, you don't really know what you're doing anymore. I think that's a big thing that goes across. I mean, get in the comments and chat about this. But I think that goes across a lot of this stuff. People want to get so far in the weeds with this infinitesimally small little aspects of a guitar that after 5 minutes of proper playing, you don't notice the difference anyway. So why are we even dealing with this? And you could say, well, yeah, but every little thing is cumulative, which is true. But again, what percentage? If this makes 0.1% or 0.5%, and that makes 0.1% or 0.5%, because we're really talking about that small percentages here. We really are talking about that. Then why are you focused on that? Shouldn't you be focused on like songwriting and like phrasing and like hand position and like all these other things that don't have anything to do with what your guitar is made of or how it's strung? So the reason I'm going back to, or have gone back to, all string throughs on all of my tellies. Actually, I don't have any. No, I don't have a telly. Again, I'm without a telly again. The reason I went back to it though is for uniformity of service, so that they would all be the same. And I don't like what it does to the string. I'd rather have it string through than have it, and it's harder to do actually. The way a top loader bridge works, you have to put it into the back and then stick something in there and pull it up over the saddle, like or bend the string and have to do. I don't know. It's just fiddly. Is the real reason. It's a little fiddly, and I feel like string through the body is just easier, especially if you're doing like a quick string change. If you broke a string during a gig or whatever, and you need to change a string really fast, top loader is fiddly by comparison. That's just my experience. Let's get caught up here. Hang on. Let's say hi to a couple of people, and whoa, y'all are blowing up the comments. I hope there's going to be some whiteboard action. Actually, there is not any whiteboard action today. Hey, Doc. Hey, BC Rich. I might even have to pour myself a scotch. I actually thought about it, but I'm actually just drinking water tonight. My brother is coming this weekend, so I'm trying to save myself. Let's see. Yep, flying solo tonight. Monsters of the Id. Good to see you back. Vox Guitars Rock. What's going on? Jeffrey McRickard. Good to see you back. Eric Warrington. Paul. Brett. Have you ever tried an aluminum neck? I have. I actually want to get into that a little bit more. That's something that I'd like to do as maybe part of a project. I'm not really sure. Let's see. Let's just say hi to everybody. I'm hearing that there are some quality control issues with the second run of Silver Skies. Is this a common occurrence with guitar companies? I've not heard any such thing, and I've actually played some new ones, newer than mine, because mine is now, 4 months old. I played one a couple weeks ago that was brand new. It was perfect. It was totally perfect. And I actually played some SEs too, and they were totally perfect. I haven't seen any problems. No problems at all whatsoever. And I've been keeping track too. I've been looking because I know that people do it, you know? Yeah, man. Let's see. The pickup doesn't cause you any of your picking issues. Eric Warrington, you mentioned coffee. So, this is one of those things too. A lot of people will like, I have had people get in the comments and be like, I'm not going to give you a super chat because you spend the money on alcohol. So here's what I'm going to tell you. For those of you that are bothered by that, if you if you give me a super chat and you tell me don't use it on alcohol, I will not. I will use it on coffee instead because I just got a sweet espresso machine and it is amazing. And I have been doing tons of experimenting with it and I absolutely love it. And because I'm a coffee nut also. And so therefore, if it makes you feel better, I'm not just saying that. I will 100% honor your wishes and spend your money on coffee instead of alcohol. For sure. So there you go. Call me out on my idiotic comment. I deserve it. No, it's not about that. I think what happens is there's a lot of people that have opinions about guitar stuff and either they don't know how to it's funny, like, not to get all philosophical and off in the weeds here, but I feel like people have forgotten how to have an opinion. Like, I want you to have an opinion. I will not always disagree. I will not always agree with it. Um, and the other thing I will do is if you have an opinion that is based on a myth, or if you are intentionally trying to contradict me, um, not out of a spirit of being angry about it, because I don't get mad about this stuff. I don't get mad about stuff that's fun. This is fun. But what I will do is I will call you to task on it. So if you challenge me about something that I know to be true, or that I have a source where I can find out. Sometimes I don't know. A lot of times I don't know. So we'll just go find out, right? Like, go learn it from somebody else and have them tell us. Or if you're floating an idea that is just whack, and you're very serious about it and like challenging about it, then I will call you to task on it. Like, show me, like that Tonewood thing. Show me, just show me. That's all I care. And having conversations. We have a super chat. Hang on. Doc says, please spend this on some good adult beverages. Your choice. All the better if Leslie likes it too. Thank you so much, Doc. I do appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. And I will make sure that I spend that $10 on something fun. Can I spend it in retrospect? Because I just bought a bottle of tequila last night. Again, getting ready for my brother. So these are the kinds of things that I think are important. This is why we should have these conversations. And this is why I wanted to do this tonight. I am super proud of the community that we've built here at Dylan Talks Tone, and all of you that watch these videos, and most of the time it's pretty civil in the comments and it's pretty awesome. And I know 99% of the time it's civil in these comments because, you're here to watch this, but I do appreciate it all. And I'm really grateful for all of you. But I think when we talk about this stuff, people just get so worked up and they just do it to make a point or to stick it to me or something. And that just doesn't make sense to me. So that's why we just keep doing this. And I think people need to understand too. And this is a fun way so you can see my face instead of just in a comment somewhere. I think that's another thing on the internet. When you type a comment, it doesn't necessarily land how you intend it sometimes. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you with my actual face and with my actual smile and with my actual everything that I don't get mad about this stuff ever. And I don't get triggered about it. Because some dude named Ding Dong 325 that I don't know who he is or where he lives or whose mom he lives with, or what basement he's coming from, I'm not going to allow that person to have any kind of emotional impact on my life. So I don't care on that level. Like this stuff doesn't trigger me. People in the comments, I will reply, I will call you to task on something. You will ask something in the comments, and then I will say, yeah, but wait a minute. What about this? Prove it. And somebody will be like, ooh, I triggered him. No, you didn't trigger me. I want to know. I want to know. I want to learn. I want to keep learning. And so that's why I think it's important to always have these conversations. Really, really fun. What do you think has been the biggest controversy you started or been involved in? Ooh, man. Some of you get in the comments and see what you think it is. Well, I'll tell you. They've always made the best videos. Controversy is clicks. And I don't always do it on purpose. I have done it on purpose. I will be 100% transparent. I have done it on purpose. 99% of the time, I don't do it on purpose. But still, I think the Kemper stuff, the Catalyst stuff lately, and Silver Sky stuff has probably been some of the most controversial. Dylan, did you see where Gretsch was advertising one of their bass guitars having humbucker pickups, and it actually has single coils in it? No, I didn't see that actually. That's interesting. You got your Squatch shirt in the mail the other day? Ah, sweet. Thanks, Don Trujillo. I appreciate that very much. We got another super chat. Thank you, Jeff, for when your brother is there, dude. Oh, and $20. Thanks. That buys like a half a bottle of tequila, which will last about a little while. My brother's favorite is tequila, and Jeffrey McRickard knows my brother, so that's why he did that. I appreciate that very much. Awesome. This is an interesting question. This came up. Thanks for the super chat, Jeff. I appreciate it. Do you think some of these smaller builders choose to do relic finishes like Novo guitars because it takes away from the difficulty of doing a very nice clean finish and keeping it pristine throughout the production process? I know the relic thing is a thing now, but this is my thought when I see this style of finish from smaller builders. It's funny because Matt at Texas Toast talks about that too. He's like, the reason people do relics, because me and him don't. This is one thing that Matt and I don't agree on. Is he's always like, I think people do relics because they don't know how to paint. But honestly, having worked with Carlos Lopez and talking to John Cruz a lot, and having talked to these guys a lot and chatted with them a lot, the amount of work that goes into relicking a guitar is the hard part. It is to make it look right, to make it like it doesn't look like you drug it down the street. It is the hard part for sure. And it takes hours and hours and hours, and it takes methods. These literally are the kinds of things that have all kinds of secret sauce and all kind of, I'm going to show you this, but I would have to kill you. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. Not really, but you know what I mean? So I really think, that's part of it. And that is the reason people do. See, Matt from Texas Toast is actually here right now. Is there any real benefit to putting trim springs on an angle? If so, what? It does change how it feels, but not a lot in my experience. Matt says that is to say that is why some people do relics, and he is 100% correct. There are some small builders who maybe they can't get it right, so they just relic it. But the real ones, like the Fender Custom Shop stuff, the Novo stuff, the stuff that's really, really good is an actual art form to get it to look and feel proper. And I will tell you that when it's not right, it's not right. And it feels cheap and gross. But when it is right, It feels like a proper old guitar. We got another super chat from Sassy Cat. Thanks, dude. Watch the Malcontents SE24 on YouTube. S2E4. Okay. I will do that. Thank you for the super chat. Sassy Cat, I appreciate that very much. Yeah. Yeah, the relicking thing is probably another one that people really get bent when I talk about it, because it is such a polarizing thing. I personally really, really like it a lot if it's done well. A John Cruz relic, the Carlos Lopez relics that I played last weekend, those things are fantastic. Can you do a detailed future video on IR amp modeling for a total novice to modeling? For me, the amps are in a cabinet and we are either tube or solid state. Anything beyond that is a black hole to me. I can, except what I will tell you is I'm not 100% awesome at that. This new amp that I have has a speaker, so it sounds fantastic. And it has IRs. What I am going to do is a video where we dive into the Catalyst 100 with the software, and I do a bunch of changes and show you the sag and all that kind of stuff. So we are going to do a pretty detailed video on how to get the most out of that amp, even if it's features that I don't personally use. So we're going to do that. Dylan, can I buy a single set of Dylan pickups, or do I have to buy 5 sets at a time? I looked at your website and it seems I have to buy 5 sets. I don't know. No, you can buy one pickup. You could buy one pickup. You could buy one t-shirt. You could buy one anything on our website. The little table that you saw is for people that want to order in bulk. And I actually really just need to take that off of there because I don't use that the same way anymore. So yeah, let's see. Oh, also people don't like my carbon fiber guitar apparently. Carbon fiber guitar review. Dude, you should have bought the Enya X4 Pro. More features at a third of the price. An $800 carbon fiber guitar that you can buy on Amazon that has delay and effects in it is nothing like a McPherson. I don't even need to play it to know that. That being said, after Daryl Braun did his video, I reached out to the company and they're sending me one. So we will do, as soon as I get it, a back-to-back between the Enya X4 Pro and my McPherson, just to make you happy. Not just to make you happy, to make me happy, because it's something that I wanted to do. Kind of excited about it. That's a funny thing. People always are like, you should have bought this instead. I'm like, really? Okay. I mean, instead of telling me I should have done something, why don't you just tell me what you like about it? Like, engage in a conversation. Don't be so confrontational. Maybe this should have been how to make a YouTube comment. Although I kind of want to do that, but I think I actually might do that on TikTok instead. This random live made my day. Thanks, dude. I feel, Snarky K says, I feel that tone comes from 3 places: your fingers, your pickups, and most importantly, your speakers. Do you agree or disagree? I will say that the amp as a whole makes a huge difference. You know, you play a 2-rock. I played a 2-rock a couple weeks ago or last weekend or whenever that was up at Casino Guitars. You put any guitar through that amp and it sounds friggin' amazing. I mean, if you had $2,500 to spend, I would buy a $2,000 amp and a $500 guitar if it was me, because that'd be a thing. How to make a cheap guitar play like an expensive guitar. Setup video we did. Pickup height should be done before intonation. Too close and it could pull a string out of tune. Wrong. So intonation is math. Intonation is setting the high E string for the scale length of the guitar and then compensating the other strings to make their effective length the same, compensating for the change in diameter of each string. That's all intonation is. And then the other little compensations that you have to make is for how high your action is so that you can offset how much you pull the string away from pitch as you pull it down to the fretboard. What I mean by that is it's harder to intonate a guitar that has higher action because when you push down on the string, you're pulling it further away from its static pitch, if that makes sense. So, yes, if your pickups are too close, I mean really close, they can pull on the strings. I'm about to do a video that debunks this whole pull string BS. It's the dumbest thing. It is not a real problem. It can be a problem, and you can have a wildly out of adjustment guitar where this problem does exist. But when your guitar is properly set up, this is a made up problem. The end. And there is actual science. This is not my opinion. There is actual science. It is called the magnetic dipole moment. And it is what it means is that the mass of an item within a magnetic field the magnetic field has exponentially less effect on the mass, the string, as it moves away from the pickup, as it moves away from the top of the magnet. The factors involved are the amount of mass of the string, the diameter of the magnet, and the strength of the magnet. Those things all work together with this really long and insane looking mathematical equation that I can show you. And that tells you that when it's right against the string, right against the pickup, it's a certain strength and it will pull on the string, but you move it away this far and it exponentially falls off, and you move it away to a normal string height and it exponentially falls off again. So there's math, science. So yeah, set up your guitar properly and then check your pickup height. Don't get it too close. Should you buy a Line 6 Catalyst amp? Yeah, absolutely, you should. Another great piece of technology, but it does not appeal to me. I really believe that it is better to find an amp with the tone you like and work with it. Otherwise, in my opinion, you spend days tweaking and changing and never really settling on anything consistent to be creative with. So, under normal circumstances, Mr. Commenter Guy, I would 100% agree with you. That is why I got rid of my Kemper, because it is amazing and it does all this insane stuff. And I used 2 sounds out of it. It was $1,700 and I used 2 sounds. It was like, why have this thing? It's tying up money. It's tying up resources. Why should I have this thing? So I sold it. And I also wanted my carbon fiber guitar. That was one of the reasons. That's one of the things I sold to buy that guitar. But the Line 6 Catalyst is a different story because it is so simple. It isn't just an amp. It's just an amp. Now, there are 6 amp profiles, but you will very quickly, when you get this amplifier, you will very quickly, now mind you, it's $400 too. And you will very quickly decide on 2, maybe 3 tones that you'll use, just like anything else. And then you'll just adjust it like an amp. I used clean, I think, and boutique the most. And then and you can just set those on presets. And then everything else is just bass, mid, treble, presence, gain, and volume, like a normal amplifier. And then, of course, you have delay and reverb, or, whatever you want to set those for. So there isn't that normal option paralysis that exists. And so the reason I brought this comment up is because when somebody asked earlier about the most controversial things that we've done on this channel, I really, one of the things that happens, and this is guitar players in general, I tried a Line 6 pod in 1996, so this amp that you just bought in 2022 must suck. And so your experiences have zero, usually, to do with the present, with this stuff. Because there's an interesting thing that happens with guitar people, where because guitar technology for the last 70 years has not advanced very far, in the last 10, it really has advanced very far. And so people think that because that's the way it was in the 80s, or that's the way it was in the 90s, or that's the way it was in the 2000 aughts, that's the way it's always going to be, but it's not. Technology and guitar stuff is moving very, very quickly. And then you're going to say, yeah, well, then it's just going to be obsolete in a couple years. Good tone is never obsolete. Like, that amp over there sounds good. That sound is good. Therefore, it will be good for as long as you want it to be good. It's that a sound doesn't go obsolete unless it's like, I don't know, like 70s wah. I guess we don't do that very much anymore. There's some sounds that kind of go away, I guess. Some new wavy stuff from the early 80s, but stuff comes back around. It like cycles back around. But what I'm getting at is good tone doesn't go bad. It doesn't die unless you have a tube amp. Then it does. This stuff doesn't. It's solid state stuff lasts forever as long as you don't heat it up, which it doesn't heat up. It's a Class D power amp, so it doesn't get hot. So it will last a very, very long time. It will not go obsolete because it sounds good. A good sound is good. The end. It doesn't go obsolete, unlike a tube amp. And there's all kinds of technology like that is happening. All these alternative materials, carbon fiber, all this kind of stuff, it's all happening right now. And just because you tried something in 1986 doesn't mean that it has any bearing on what technology is doing right now, even though you're in an industry that normally does not move. But there's a lot of young people. Now, I'm not that young, but there's a lot of young people, younger than me, who are trying to move it forward. And so, anyway, this is why I brought this one up, because I think it's a very interesting viewpoint for this gentleman to have, and I understand totally where he's coming from with this, but I do not agree with it based on the fact that he was right in 1993, but he's not right anymore. Actually, he was right in 2013, but he's not right anymore. There you go. Actually, he was probably right in 2019, but he's not right anymore. Things are moving. Anyway, let's check for some other comments here really fast. Tequila tip for the discriminating tech freak. Don Julio 70. Yeah, I'm not really a Don Julio fan. Yeah, when Boomer is in your username, I applaud you for admitting that. I'm kidding. It's real. It literally is a joke. Yeah. No, this is great stuff. Check out the Rain song Black Ice. One of my buddies actually has one of those, and I need to get a hold of it. We have another super chat from Doc. Doc says, t-shirt idea. Good tone doesn't go bad. Good tone is timeless. That's actually not a bad idea. Good tone doesn't go bad. It doesn't. It doesn't go obsolete as much as you want to think it would with a Kemper or something. What do you think about the Victory V4 amp in a box? I've not played one, but if it's as good as any other Victory stuff, it's probably awesome because Victory stuff is awesome. Okay. This one is really funny. Doc, thank you for the super chat. Also, thank you. Somebody said, I'm sorry, I didn't know how to say the first part of your name. I appreciate that. Thoughts on fanboy culture? Do you consider yourself to be a fanboy of anything? Let's talk about that. I think that fanboys only exist in the minds of other people. I think that fanboys only exist in the minds of people who are intentionally trying to be critical or are overly self-conscious or are lacking in some way in their own abilities. That is my opinion. Because you only speak about fanboy stuff, usually in a derogatory fashion, about somebody else that you disagree with or that you are jealous of because they have a better guitar than you, or you're trying to find a way to make your own place in the environment. What I mean by that is if I play a PRS, if I buy a PRS, then everybody's going to say I'm a PRS fanboy. Why? Because they're trying to make themselves relevant in my conversation because I'm doing something different than they are. It happens in anything. It happens in bicycle stuff. It happens in camera stuff. It happens in RC car stuff. I mean, if somebody buys a Traxxas car, then all of a sudden they're a Traxxas fanboy, but only the ARMA people say that. If I buy a Canon camera, then all the Sony people say I'm a Canon fanboy because they're Sony people. They're trying to find relevance in your conversation. So I don't care about it. I do what I want to do. And I think that's a thing on our channel in general that people don't realize. I don't make videos for a company. I don't make videos for a guitar manufacturer. When I buy a guitar for a video, so I'll tell you about this. I'll give you an example about this. Okay, so I'll buy a Gibson and everybody calls me a Gibson fanboy. I buy a PRS. Everybody calls me a PRS fanboy. For the last 35 years, I've played Fenders up until the last couple years. Nobody has ever called me a Fender fanboy, but I've played only Fenders for the last 35 years. So it's a weird thing. That being said, what has caused me to buy a particular guitar for the channel? I wanted to. Nobody told me to buy a PRS. PRS did not email me and say, hey, we'll give you a deal on a PRS. Now, the Silver Sky SE, I knew it was coming out, and I called Sweetwater, and I said, because I'm a Sweetwater affiliate, and I said, can you give me one of those? Because I have a bunch of video ideas with it. And they said, yes, that's a great idea. That's how YouTubers work. That's what you do. You actually have people that you work with, and you do what it's called technically it's called a brand integration. So I did get that guitar from Sweetwater, but I didn't say nice things about it. I said I didn't like the pickups, and we put new pickups in it. I said I didn't like the fact that the trim's not floated, so we're going to do a video how we float. I don't say nice things about stuff just because somebody gave it to me for free. I am not a fanboy of anything. I don't care if you think I am. I don't at all whatsoever. It's like zero relevance on my life. But I do like what I like. And I like things that are interesting to me. I like guitars that are interesting to me. I like my Gibson SG Junior because I have to fight it when I play it. I like the format of it. I like it that it kind of sucks. Same thing with Tellies. I like that. I like the lack of technology in those guitars. On the flip side of that, I like my McPherson. That is 100% technology. I like my PRS Silver Skies, both of them, because for different reasons, but they are the advancement of an old design. It's very cool. I really like that. I like my new Kramer with the Floyd because it's different. I bought that guitar because we did a news story on it, and I was like, you know what? This thing is really super fun. I am going to get one of these. I think it's really cool. Literally, when I was doing the news, when I was putting the news together. So the way I do these news things is tomorrow morning. So tomorrow's Wednesday. So we do the news on Wednesday. So tomorrow morning I will get up at like probably 7:30. Okay, 8. 7:30 and pour a cup of coffee and get my computer, and I will scour all of the websites that I normally scour for all of the press releases for all of the latest stuff that has come out. I'll look at Twitter. It'll take me about an hour to put all of the material together, and then I will come in here and I will shoot the video. I will edit the video, and it will go up at noon. So we literally prepare it, shoot it, edit it, and upload it in like a 4-hour period. It took that long to be like, I'm going to get one of them purple guitars. And I went and bought one. I mean, and to be 100% transparent, I've gotten 2 free guitars from Sweetwater. The lavender colored Schecter that you may remember. I believe John Roddy owns that now. And the green Silver Sky. No guitar brand, not one, has ever given me a guitar. Except for 2. No major guitar brand has ever given me a guitar. So Fender, PRS, Gibson, none of those. To just truly flesh out this whole fanboy thing. The 2 people that have given me a guitar from an actual brand, from a factory brand, Somnium, which is the one with the like pickup changey outy, like a change the pickups out that we just got like a couple months ago. And then Kolos, which was the aluminum one with the plastic neck that I ran over with the Jeep. Obviously, they're not going to send me another one. Those are the only 2 guitar brands that have ever given me a guitar. No one else has ever given me a guitar from a guitar brand. So there you go. Just for a little bit of transparency there. I don't agree with your fanboy comments. You go on a forum trying to get help, and the fanboys comment, nothing is wrong with my product. It must be the operator error, etc. They only offer company spin. So, but that's what I'm saying is that's what I'm saying. They are trying to make themselves look good. And they're like, for example, when I this is another thing that has happened. When I say actually it happened with this video a few minutes ago. When I say I don't like the pickups. Oh, maybe that's coming up. We'll hold on to that thought. This is an interesting one. I don't like the slant of the Tele bridge pickup. It makes it too hard to EQ, and it's almost impossible to get rid of that country twang in the B and E strings without making the E, A, and D sound muddy. I think a lot of people would prefer it if the bridge pickup was unslanted. I mean, I get the take. I understand why you say that, but I don't know if you know this, but the twang from a Tele pickup doesn't come from the position of it. It comes from the metal base plate that's on the bottom of it. And you commented on the video, Mr. I'm not going to say her name to call you out, but you commented on the video that was how a Tele pickup is made. That's where the twang comes from on a Tele pickup, is the metal on the bottom. Has nothing to do with, well, not nothing. It has the majority to do with where that comes from. Pickup position is a little bit, but if you'll recall, a Strat has the same angle, and it is nowhere near like that. And a Strat pickup is almost it's very similar in construction, except for that metal plate. Very interesting stuff. Thoughts on a reverse headstock? I don't like them because I don't like the way they set up. I don't like them. Oh, here we go. This is another funny one. How guitar pickups are made. Part 1, the Telecaster bridge pickup. Video I was just referring to. This is the one reason I keep saying there is no reason pickups should cost so much. My reply to that would be, come out to Texas Toast Guitars in May. Sign up for one of the few class spots that is left. Wind your own pickup, and then tell me what you think. Sit here and do this and tell me what you think. What I'm not going to tell you is where to get the parts, what wind count to use, how much space should be between the bobbins, what diameter of magnets to get, where to get the magnets, how to press them together, what to use to press them together, where to get the flat work, how to understand the dimensions of the flat work, what diameter of wire to use, all those things. I'm not going to tell you any of that. You have to figure it all out on your own. See how much time it takes. Multiply that by how much you make an hour. We're doing whatever you do. And then let me know. That's all I'm going to say about that. I think it's hilarious. Oh, man. That's so funny. Dastardly Dave, thanks for the super chat, dude. Here's a little for some beverages. Thanks for the vids. Thanks, Dave. I'm going to see Dave out there in Colorado, I think. I love that telly twang. If the telly doesn't twang, I don't want it. Dude, that's for real. A gentleman's challenge. You know, that's the thing, man. What's really funny about it is that is how I am with everything. Like if it doesn't even matter what it is. It doesn't even matter if it's about guitar stuff. If it's about car stuff, if it's about whiskey, if you challenge me or you say something like that, I'll just be like, okay, show me. I mean, because I could learn just as much from you doing it for the first time and learn a trick that I never noticed. Even though I've done it hundreds of times this week. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just don't have any pride in this stuff. I think there's just so much to learn, and like, I don't know how to shoot the perfect YouTube video. I don't know how to do the perfect live stream. I don't know how to make the perfect guitar pickup. You're always just trying different stuff. Except for P90s. I make the best P90s. We always joke about that. The carbon fiber guitar review. This thing sounds so good. McPherson Sable. This thing is gosh darn expensive. It's $34.99. I'm not sure if you have bought or shopped for an American-made acoustic guitar lately. Like a real good one. But $3,500 is not that much. Have you looked at what a D18 costs now? Ooh. I mean, they're amazing. They're amazing. Yeah. 2022, folks. It's 2022. Oh, here we go. This was the one. The PRS pickups aren't better. You prefer them. He's talking about the shootout between the Mexican Strat back there and the green PRS and the Mexican Strat. Those two guitars right there. And I did not like at all the stock pickups in the Strat. They were not near as good as the stock pickups in the PRS. The PRS pickups aren't better. You prefer them. I had a 1996 made in Mexico Strat that had the most magical neck pickup. Here again, I don't know if you know this or not, but not the same pickups. Your 1996 made in Mexico Stratocaster has different pickups in it than what these pickups are. in the Player Series Stratocaster. I've said this before in videos, that I don't know if you know this or not, but every time Fender comes out with a new guitar and they say this is a new pickup, they're not kidding. They actually reformulate pickups for pretty much every new model that comes out. And they have a book with like 3,000, I believe it's somewhere 2,800 to 3,000, right in there. The last time I checked, anyway, was about 6 months ago. A book with all of the pickup recipes in it. And they change it every time, just a little bit, redesign something, freshen it up. So your 96 made in Mexico Strat does not have the same pickups that my 2022 made in Mexico Strat has. It's not the same. Again, just because you had it in 1996 doesn't mean it's relevant today. Pretty interesting stuff. Winding pickups in May is going to be killer. I'm clueless, so I'm looking forward. I'm hoping you have a lot of patience. Ivan, I'm calling it a night. Thanks. See you Thursday. Maybe you'll see me Thursday. I don't know. It depends on my brother's in town, man, from California, and I don't get to see him very often. So I'm not sure what we're going to do Thursday. We may, but we're probably going to go out because we're probably going to go play a live deal. So we'll see. All right. Got a few more. Let's see. Does anyone else think that a pickup company putting out a video that basically trash talks the pickups in one of the most popular guitar models on the market is a little biased at best? No, just me? Okay. No, K. He said K. This was about the classic vibe Tele double bound 1960s classic vibe that I bought. I bought that at a Sam Ash. We put new pickups in it. It's pretty well known that most people don't like the neck pickup in that guitar. And when we buy a guitar for the purpose of modding it, which is what we do 90% of the time, my American Silver Sky is the only guitar I have not modded. Well, I haven't modded the purple guitar yet, but it's getting modded. The Silver Sky might not actually get any mods because I just like it the way it is. But anyway, we buy them for the purpose of modding them. And I am not trash talking a set of pickups in a popular guitar. I am telling you that they could be better. And they're not very good. That's not trash talking. I'm just telling you, they're not very good. And it's pretty well known at this point that they aren't. So what we're going to do, we're going to just replace them. And if you think that I'm not biased, if you think anything other than me being biased about my own products, then I don't know why we're even here. I would not tell you that my products are awesome, if they weren't awesome. And if they weren't awesome, we wouldn't even be chatting right now. And I don't know if you know this or not, but, and I'm just going to, again, be 100% transparent. The entire reason for this existence of this YouTube channel is to sell guitar pickups. It used to be, not so much anymore. When I started, it was. We've kind of, obviously it's grown into its own machine, and hanging out with you guys every week has become part of it. But when it first started, that was the reason. I needed people to know about my pickups, so we put them in videos. And following along with like the Gary Vee way of doing things, you give away a bunch of free information that nobody else gives away for free, and then you promote your own products within it. That is what I do. That is my job. That is how I make a living, and that is why these lights are not off right now. That's what keeps them on. So y'all watching the videos, y'all giving me the super chats are amazing. And of course, buying pickups at dylantalkstone.com. I appreciate it. That's why we 99% of the time don't have sponsors in our videos, because it's sponsor enough that you would just buy my stuff. So I appreciate it a lot. A lot. Oh, by the way, the website says 4 weeks out right now, but those pickups right there that I'm making in the morning are 2 weeks out. So we are catching up. So if you need something, don't be afraid to order it. In fact, sooner the better. Because May is going to be crazy. I'm just going to say it. That's right. Let's see. Brand recognition. That's what it is. It's marketing. It is marketing. And it's not manipulative. I'll tell you. That's the other thing. People accuse me all the time of like being a shill for a particular company. No. No. If you don't know by now that if I don't like it, you're going to know about it, then you haven't been paying attention for the last 1,000 videos that we've made. I mean, really. It's kind of funny. Let's see. Here's the last one, then we can take some questions if you want. Good grief. It's a computer-based practice amp. Both are. The Catalyst and the Katana. Not a real amp to use on stage or in the studio if you care about your tone. Except that both of those amps are based on and built around technology that is widely accepted and used in live and studio situations. 100%. I mean, the Line 6 Helix and the Helix LT and the HX Stomp are on so many people's pedal boards now that it's not even funny. I mean, this is not even a conversation. And the whole tube versus modeler thing has just gotten so stupid that I don't even entertain those conversations anymore. I feel like if I buy a piece of gear, I'm going to tell you right now, we will not do a video where it's like, let's compare this amp to a 1959 blah, 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 blah. I won't do it because it doesn't matter. If it sounds good, it is good. The Catalyst is better than the Katana. The Katana's not terrible, but the Catalyst is better. I get it. It's newer. It makes more sense. A little different technology. That doesn't mean I don't like tube amps. It just means it's good. Yeah. Let's see. Let's look through some questions here if we have any. Sounds like someone's never recorded in the studio. Dude, that is no joke, because if you go into any modern studio now, chances are you're going to record on a Kemper or an Axe FX. Not any modern studio, but a lot of modern studios. For sure. Oh, man. This is awesome. This is so fun. Started watching Dylan because it was the only place to get in-depth pot information. Awesome. No, that's cool. Yeah, and I can understand too why people have different, views on it based on their level of comfort with technology. But even for those people, I would say, if you can use Apple CarPlay, which I know you do, if you have a new car that's like newer than 5 years old, then you can use a friggin' Line 6 Catalyst. I think there is a widespread unwillingness to accept reality more than is the amp actually good or not. I think it's more key that guitar players accept that the amp is good. And that's a completely different conversation than is the amp good? Because it is good. Are you going to accept that that is possible? That's on you. That has nothing to do with the amp. Hard truths, man. Hard truths. That's what we should have called this episode. Hard truths. Let's see. I say take a twin reverb and crank it up to full volume. Yeah, and then when you get evicted because it's so noisy, yeah. Dude, a twin at full chat is pretty awesome. Problem is, it's not possible. I have an apartment now that I have to live within. So, yeah, man. Let's see. Any other questions we got here? Oh, we got 3 thumbs down. People don't like this. People don't like reality. It's hard. Reality is so hard. It's so hard. I wonder if the most vocal of the naysayers are Gen Xers and Boomers. I think it's anybody who is really just locked into what they have and they're not willing. It's an unwillingness to change. It has nothing to do with the quality of the stuff. It's an unwillingness to change. Which, if you are that person, then do what you want to do. Play what you want to play. Where I shut off is when you get on to me for liking something different than you and expect me to not like what I like because you are unwilling. I already like what you like. See, that's the thing. I already like tube amps. I already like vintage guitars. I already like old stuff. I don't like coily chords. What else? I like vintage pedals. I like old cars. I like old watches. I like all kinds of really cool things. I already like what you like. So don't get in my comment section or get in my whatever and get on me for not liking the same thing that you like because I already like what you like. I'm not going to get on you for not liking what I like because you like what you like. It's that easy. We can exist. And here's another thing. This is going to blow your mind. And maybe we'll start to kind of close it out with this concept that hopefully you'll be able to grasp. Hopefully. And I know most of you do, but some of you don't. The 4 people with the thumbs down now don't get this. Okay. Everybody sitting down. Let's just calm down and we'll just, I don't want you to like fall out of your chair or anything. Ready? It's okay to like more than one thing at the same time. Did you know that? So like you could like a Les Paul and a Tele and no one will care or no one should care. You could like a Marshall and a Fender at the same time and no one should care. You could like a Kemper and a Marshall at the same time. You could use a Kemper and a Marshall in the same rig on the same gig and nobody should care. No big deal. No big deal. You could like wooden acoustic guitars and carbon fiber acoustic guitars at the same time. You could like them both and it would be awesome. I know it's hard to grasp and I'm giving you crap. You know that this is like, but yeah. Anyway. But do you like key lime LaCroix? Dude, I like key lime LaCroix. And I'm going to give you another one. I like limoncello LaCroix. We accidentally bought the flat. So this is the pamplemousse, which is supposed to be like a grapefruit. And I bought accidentally the one that has limoncello, and it tastes like a pound cake, and it's really good. Anyway, yes, I like all the things. And I think here's another one. Here's another mind blower, and then I'll let you all be for the evening. And I just forgot it. It just was like poof, and it just went. It blew my own mind. I like blew my own mind, and now it's gone. Anyway, this has been really fun. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate all the super chats. No Pepsi, Coke. I'm from Georgia. Coke. Yeah, man. Yeah. This has been great. Dang, I must have missed a good one. Oh, wow. This is so fun. Anyway. You guys have been awesome. Thanks for all the super chats. Thanks for hanging out. And all the other various things. Have a great night. And sorry, I'm trying to catch up on some of y'all calls, comments. This is awesome. Anyway, you guys are great. We'll see you tomorrow with